evening, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Jordie James and I've got you for the next 15 minutes. I am very excited this week. It's actually the start of spring over here. So I know you guys have just gone into the beautiful fall over in the Northern Hemisphere, but we've just gone into spring and very excited. Just had the full moon as well, which is even super exciting because a lot of good shifts happening. Couldn't sleep last night, which was quite interesting. Took me about 3 hours before I fell asleep. So with all the energy and my mind going 100 miles an hour. So what I do, that's a really interesting thing because I was about to talk about going and doing things for ourselves to connect. And what I wanted to do is also disconnect last night. So it was quite interesting how I want to talk about connection and then talking about disconnection as well. So very interesting day today. I've got a few things, I've got a few classes lined up today and connecting with beautiful souls. But connecting is also a very important thing for us energetically and vibrationally, in a sense of knowing where we sit in our own connection with ourselves, with our higher self, and also with our loved ones, obviously, in the spirit world as well. So today was just, I want to talk about actually connecting with oracle cards. And I don't know if I've spoken to this before, but having a set of oracle cards and then choosing an oracle card for the day and journaling about it. I actually tell my students to do this as much as they can because, one, it allows you to be a little bit more aware of what's going to happen for the day, but also to see where it fits within the day and trust with what you receive. Trusting is a huge thing for our awareness when we connect with our own energy and our own spiritual workings. It's always really important to trust. And the trusting connection can be quite pivotal to know that we are always looked after, we are always guided, and sometimes we don't particularly listen to the guidance until it hits us about 3 times in the forehead. But it gets there. Once we understand it, then we go, that makes total sense. And my favorite saying is, you can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up. Everything that comes through, it's really important to let you know that you can trust with what you receive. So I feel like I'm a little bit jerky, but that's okay. And so realistically, making sure that you spend at least 5 minutes a day for yourself to connect and really be aware of your surroundings and just trust with what you receive. Your gut instinct never fails you. Trust me, it never fails unless you get put on your butt, which has been done to me about 18 months ago. So with no further ado, I have got a beautiful lady on the line called Christine. Hello, Christine. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. You're from Canada. Oh, my God. I can't wait to get over there, hopefully next year when everything opens up again. My passport's ready to go to Canada, so I'm very excited to go over there. Now, Christine, how would you like me to work for you this evening? Would you like me to work psychically with what's going on around you or mediumshiply, which is connecting with loved ones?
Mediumship-based, please.
Thought so. That's all right, because I started already opening up before you even said it. So this is awesome. So let me just see. Oh, okay. And I love it when they know that there's only a short period of time because they sort of go what I call stacks on. So they just love coming in one after the other. So I'm just trying to see if I can separate your beautiful loved ones for you, Christine. But I do have a gentleman stepping forward. This beautiful gentleman has got this really gorgeous, really soft, funny personality. And yeah, I also know he's a little bit quiet. I wouldn't say shy, but he would definitely pick his own battles. He's telling me he would pick his battles well, and he wouldn't sort of put his foot in it unless he needed to. he was also quite a beautiful disciplinarian. What I mean by that is that as I connect with him, all he had to do was a look or raise his hand or raise his finger, and you would know that you would not be able to do anything. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. And would this gentleman be connected to dad or a grandfather on dad's side or dad? Would that make sense?
Dad, yes.
Thank you. I thought it was dad, but I just wanted to make sure. But is he a grandfather as well? Because he's very excited to be a grandfather too.
Yes.
Thank you. Because I feel he's telling me, thank you. I'm not feeling, I'm being told, because he does like to speak his mind. Does that make sense to you when he needs to?
Most definitely.
Thank you. Because it was like he was sort of telling me to not feel but listen, because he has this gorgeous voice, and I feel, I don't know, I wouldn't say he was on radio, but I do feel like he had a gorgeous voice you could listen to for hours, and he was also very philosophical. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you. So going back to telling me off for feeling, he's also telling me that back before, he was telling me that he missed a couple of grandchildren. So was there a couple of grandchildren? He's telling me a couple that came after he passed. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you. And he's a little bit excited, but he's also telling me that he's telling me that he went sooner than what he thought as well. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Thank you. And I don't feel like he was 58, but he wants to acknowledge the number 58. So I don't know if this makes sense, but does that make sense to you, darling?
No, he was a bit older than that.
Okay, then 58 was definitely a dominant age for him. So can I leave that with you, because he wants to acknowledge this number. Now, also,
Yeah.
he's acknowledging mum. So is mum still here?
No, she passed as well.
Okay, he's just acknowledging mum's here. So I always get a little bit misconstrued sometimes with her vocabulary. And he keeps telling me a job well done. So he's definitely one of those beautiful support people that loves going, a job well done. He's like patting me on the back going, you're doing well, you're doing well. But for me, I feel like also I want to say that's for you as well. Because as he's connecting with that, he's acknowledging that he wants to pat you on the back for the job well done. And he wants you to know that you really need to trust your intuition at the moment, because things are moving a little bit differently. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Thank you. And he's also acknowledging, don't worry, I'm not around you all the time. So he does believe in personal private space. Does that make sense to you? Because he's having a bit of a joke about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that would be him.
Thank you. He's absolutely adorable, and he's getting, as he's sort of blending with me a little bit more, he's also just acknowledging that like he was in a bit of pain before he passed, and there was a few things going on medically and medicinally, and he just wants to acknowledge that he wants to thank you. And do you have an older brother?
No, I'm the eldest. I have a younger brother.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so would I say that sometimes your brother likes to be the oldest and take control of things? Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, they were his family, not mine.
Oh, okay. Because I just want to acknowledge this. But he's just going, okay, he was talking about your brother. Bear with me for a second. He's telling me that you did the best you could with everything around your dad. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you. And he likes how you put your foot down with your brother as well. So
yeah.
can I leave that with you? Thank you. He's also showing me, and I don't know if you guys actually had a farm or some acreage, but is there a reference where there was an old hay cart or something that would be around? Because I'm seeing like the cart wheel that would be on a cart, but I'm also seeing it looking like a hay cart. Does this make sense?
When I was a child, they had a farm, yes.
Thank you, because he's just acknowledging the memory of you jumping on the back of this cart. So I'll just acknowledge that for you. But he's also showing me a watch as well, and he's also laughing. Have you either misplaced or the watch is no longer around you at the moment? Because he's acknowledging how you were going to look for it to get it fixed for someone, but you couldn't find it or something. Does that make sense?
I think it probably would have been him that watched time before he passed.
Okay, cool. Because he's just talking about the watch and being misplaced and then trying to find it to get it fixed.
Yeah, we never got time to be able to get things fixed before he passed.
Thank you. Okay. See what I mean? I'm the interpreter, so I might misinterpret occasionally. But he just wants to give you a massive hug and a massive pat on the back, and he just wants to say he's with the family, and he's also acknowledging a birthday that's happened 3 or 4 days ago. Does this make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so can I leave that with you, Christine? I've run out of time, but thank you, and thank you for allowing me to connect with your dad. He's absolutely gorgeous, and I don't know if it's Greg or Gregory, but I need to acknowledge that name as well, or the GR name. And if you want to connect with me, come over to my Facebook page, Jordie Jade Psychic Medium. Christine, thank you so much for allowing me to chat to you today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care and
You're
have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. And see you, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great evening. And I will see you next week. And blessings and hugs. Talk to you then. Bye.